Good morning. It is almost 6 a.m. Monday, August 31st, and here is your financial update. The S&P is set to open at a new record high. Tesla Apple trade post split. If you happen to own a single share of Apple or a single share of Tesla, in about 30 minutes when the market opens, you will get, I think it's 4 times as much stock. You'll have 4 more shares for every share of Apple and 5 more shares for every Tesla, if I'm saying that correctly. Of course, the prices of those are going to drop dramatically by 4 or 5 times respectively, but you can expect, in my opinion, that people are going to rush into these. I mean, this might be the 3rd time or 4th time that Apple has split its stock, and I believe it's the first time that Tesla has, and I'm really hoping that Amazon catches on to this, but who knows? Amazon is still about $3,400 a share last time I checked for a single share. They do this because they want people to be able to get back in the market. You know, a lot of the exchanges and places to get stock do not let you do any kind of fractional investing, unlike Robinhood, for example, which does. But if you want to use like a Schwab, for example, unless they've changed, you need to have the money to buy a single share of something, and a lot of people don't want to jump into Amazon when a single share is $3,500. So Tesla and Apple don't do it that way. Apparently they split. They want their stock price to be attractive for new investors, but I mean, we've seen Apple's price go to $7 after a split, and it's already back around 500. So imagine, had you been into Apple and still holding it after all that time, good for you. Congratulations. That should be happening in about half hour, but let's just read the article here. The melt-up continues. The S&P futures rose on Monday for the 8th session in a row alongside European markets, despite fading some of the earlier gains after setting fresh all-time highs on Friday amid investor confidence that central bank support will prop up risk for years, aka printing money, setting up the S&P 500 for its best August in over 3 decades. The 3 main U.S. indexes are set for their 5th straight monthly rise following this year's March lows, with the S&P 500 looking at its biggest percentage rise in August since 1984, even as economic data pointed to an uneven recovery from the steep downturn. Among early movers, Aimmune Therapeutics more than doubled pre-market after Swiss food group Nestle offered to pay $2 billion for full ownership of the peanut allergy treatment maker to expand its fast-growing health science business. Apple gained 1.5% to $126.64. While Tesla initially spiked to a new time high, rising to $470 before reversing in a $22 billion swing as both stocks became less costly after their pre-announced stock splits took effect. So I guess that's already happened. The splits have already happened. We'll see. Check the market when it opens. Shares of the Cupertino company, which have rallied nearly 30% since it announced its surprise 4-to-1 stock split and blockbuster quarterly results on July 30th, were priced at $126.56, up 1.4% when compared to Friday's split adjusted close in pre-market trade. It will be Apple's latest stock split since a 7-for-1 move back in 2014. I remember that, and its 5th since going public in 1980. Apple shares closed at $499.23 before the split on Friday, up 70% this year, a rally which helped the iPhone maker overtake Saudi Aramco as the world's most valuable publicly listed company and become the first publicly listed U.S. company to breach $2 trillion in market capitalization. Tesla followed suit earlier this month by announcing a 5-for-1 split to portion its richly valued stock into smaller chunks, which also takes effect on Monday. Tesla stock has surged more than 5-fold this year, while shares of General Motors and Ford Motor declined on fallout from the C-19 pandemic. Gotta say, guys, I see Teslas everywhere, even in the state I moved to, which, is like a purple state. It's technically blue, but, I mean, there's a lot of people out here that are not who you think would drive electric cars that do. So, shares of Tesla up 61% since it's announced what it is. Let me read that again. Shares of Tesla up 61% since it announced what is its first stock split in mid-August, closed at $2,213 and 4.40 cents on Friday. They were priced up 2.33% at $450 when counted at their post-split value in pre-market on Monday. The unprecedented surges, driven entirely by stock split news, have stunned market watchers because while in theory no new value was created, the fact that more retail day traders, exactly who I was just talking about, can now purchase the stocks was seen as a catalyst to push them higher, even though online brokerages Robinhood, and Schwab and Fidelity do slices of individual shares. Okay, so they do that now. I was wondering about that. Oh, get out of here. I didn't mean to click on that. In Europe, the Stoxx Europe 600 index rose 0.5% as of 10:30 a.m. in London, with automakers and energy shares advancing the most among sectors. Mining shares also outperformed along with utilities, including Suez SA, which jumped after a purge by rival Veolia Environment SA. The Stoxx Europe 600 oil and gas index gained as much as 1.5% to lead gains among sectors as the price of Brent crude price climbed to the highest since early March, with traders focusing on demand recovery. European energy gauge extends gain in August to 5.7% after retreating 5.4% in July. London markets are closed for public holiday. Okay. Yada, 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 yada. Now it's going into the Chinese market. I don't care. None of this I care about. Foreign exchange, I don't care. Yeah. Anyway, market's going up. For what reasons we don't know, but they think the Tesla and Apple thing might have a lot to do with it. And let's go into some crypto news. Ethereum spikes to 2-week highs as Bitcoin broke 11,600. Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend for Bitcoin. Most of the market is in the green, with Bitcoin slightly up to 11,670, which we'll take a look at live time in a second, and Ethereum back at above 420. Let's see if that's right. And that is still holding very well, actually. Ethereum pumped almost 7% yesterday. That is great. We'll just check the prices now. We usually do this later. Yeah, this Yearn Finance thing has really been in the news. Smells like a scam, to be honest. This DeFi thing might be a huge scam, but these coins are way up, way up. They're pumping. I hope you're not holding it and get caught holding the bags when it's out and it's done and people sell. Be careful with that kind of stuff. Let's go back to this news. All coins are on the move. The top 10 cryptocurrencies have been recovering since last week's dumps, and most of them have marked gains in the past 24 hours. Ethereum is among the leaders with a 4.5% surge, and Ethereum is trading at above $420. On a weekly scale, this is a 12% increase for Ether after bottoming at $380 several days ago. Litecoin is up by 6% to 62, Ripple up 2%. Okay, yada yada. Sushi farming, yeah, this is another scam. UMA, I guess. That's the one I was just looking at. Sushi farming is attracting attention again, with two of its representatives surging by double-digit percentages. UMA is the most significant gainer of the day, with nearly 50%, and ample fourth follows with 27%. My opinion, and this is just my opinion, is that the word DeFi, the term DeFi, is the same thing as the term ICO was in 2017. Be super careful. I do not really put any of my money in any of these kinds of coins. I think technically Ethereum and VeChain and some of the coins I'm invested in, like Cardano, could technically be classified as DeFi, but they're not part of the 2020 DeFi bubble. So be super careful. I don't believe in it, but hey man, your money, you do what you want. Let's just go down to here. Bitcoin sits on 11,650. The primary cryptocurrency has successfully recovered from its weekly low to 11,100 charted last week, following the U.S. Federal Reserve's announcement that it plans to target an average inflation of 2%. Just a few hours ago, Bitcoin marked its intraday high of over 11,720, but couldn't sustain it and retraced slightly to approximately 11,670. BTC sits above a significant resistance at 11,600. If the asset reaffirms its position above it, it could head further north to the next resistance at 11,800, followed by the psychological level of 12,000. In case of a breakdown, the first support lies at 11,300. Okay, whatever. Crypto's looking really good. People are definitely looking for a store of value and a hedge against inflation, which now everyone should know by now, as it was the news for every day from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on, that the Fed is probably going to double its inflation target. So they'll probably go up to 4 or 5% this year as opposed to the usual 2%. The money printer continues to go brrr, and it's not going to stop, folks. You are not going to see a rise in your salary unless you go find a new job in 2 years. So you need to consider a store of value like gold or crypto or even certain stocks if you want to get really risky. We already looked at the coin prices. In gold news, gold price is pausing amid upbeat marketplace attitudes, right? Because like I just said, the S&P 500 is doing incredibly well in the news about Tesla and Apple. Gold prices are near steady in early U.S. trading Monday, while silver is posting decent gains. At present, there is less risk aversion in the global marketplace, which is somewhat constraining the safe haven metal bulls. October gold futures were last steady at $1,966.80. December COMEX silver prices were last up 38.5 cents at $28.18 an ounce, and it does look like silver is about to get to $28 again. It's already traded at 28 today. It's currently trading at 28 if you're looking at the ask price. And gold is up too, folks. But global stock markets were mostly higher overnight. The U.S. stock market indexes are also pointed towards higher openings when the new New York day session begins. U.S. stock indexes have had a very good month of August, with the NASDAQ and the S&P again hitting record highs overnight. Traders and investors remain in upbeat moods heading into the fall. The pandemic is still seriously gripping parts of the U.S. and the world, but hopes are high that a credible vaccine will arrive sooner rather than later. Also, most reckon that major governments will not put their economies on nearly complete lockdown again if a second wave of the virus hits at all this fall. You mean third wave? Because we are definitely past the second. In overnight news, the official gauge of China's factory activity rose at a slower pace in August than expected. China's official manufacturing purchasing managers index fell to 51 in August from 51.1 in July. That sounds good. The reading was lower than the average forecast of 51.2. However, the August reading was the sixth consecutive month that the index was above the 50 mark. That suggests expansion. The important outside markets today see NYMEX crude oil prices in higher, trading around $43.50 a barrel. The U.S. dollar index lower and near its 2-year low. The yield on the U.S. Treasury 10-year note is trading around 0.74% today. U.S. economic data for release Monday is light and includes Texas Manufacturing Outlook Survey. Technically, the gold bulls still have the firm overall near-term technical advantage amid recent choppy trading. Prices are still in an uptrend on the daily bar chart. Bulls' next upside price objective is to produce a close in October futures above solid resistance at $2,000. Bears' next near-term downside price objective is pushing futures prices below solid technical support at $1,900. Yada yada yada. December silver futures bulls have the solid overall near-term technical advantage. A bullish symmetrical triangle pattern has formed on the daily bar chart. Prices are still in an overall price uptrend on the daily bar chart. Silver bulls' next upside price objective is closing prices above solid technical resistance. Yeah, of course it is. All right. Conclusion. Gold and silver are doing well, but money is moving into the stock market today, so people are chilling on gold. But it's going up, and I still think it's your best bet right now. Above everything else I've said, we are finding out that firefighter pensions and police pensions and other kinds of large employee retirement investment funds are starting to head more into gold. We know that Warren Buffett, who traditionally hated gold his entire life, has now moved into gold. People see the writing on the wall here. Don't get left behind on this one. I'm much more fearful of the stock market than I am of precious metals. Anyway, it's a good update for now. Cap it off here. Have a great day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.